Congratulations, you got the interview. But now your uphill struggle starts, competing against the hundreds of other applicants this year. Each program interviews about 10 people for every individual slot that they have in their training program. In this video, we are going to cover the importance of the interview and why you cannot just rely on as long as I got the interview, I'll get the job. Here we go. When I used to do this with lots of people in person, I would ask everyone, how important is the interview? And I'd have people shout out what they thought, different things that they do. But it is super important. The interview is the most important thing once you've made it through the first round of exclusions. So the first round of them eliminating you is your application, and they'll offer you an interview. If they've offered you an interview, it means that they think that you're an applicant who will fit into the profile of someone who would want to match at their program. And they think that you have what it takes to be in their program. Now, I think you guys may have heard me say in the past that they kind of choose based on step scores, grades, letters of recommendation, and your MSPE. And there's lots of studies out there that show how certain people will do on their board scores for that specialty based on the scores that they have on their USMLE. So that's how they're kind of ranking you. Now, some places will think that you would never rank them because they think the applicants who really come to them have lower scores or have a different profile. So if there's a place you truly want to go, then they haven't reached out to you. Later on in the interview season, maybe towards the end of October, reach out to them, express how interested you really are in going there and really want to match there. So then that way they may offer you an interview if they think that you're still an outstanding candidate, but just wasn't one that thought they would really want to come to their program. All right, so how important is the interview? It's incredibly important. However, the interview does not equal to the job. Several years ago, there was a study that was done. It included around, it was either 3,200 or 3,400 emergency medicine resident applicants. And they found that 14% of people that went on the interview were then not ranked because of how they performed on the interview. The other thing is there was another study that was done on a large number of internal medicine residents, and it found out that 1/3 of the applicants hurt their chances following the interview based on interactions that they had, based on the way they did or did not follow up after the interview. And we're going to cover a lot of those things. So a bad interview plus a great paper record, it's not going to land you that residency. A good interview, but you got the interview, right? And you have a good or an outstanding interview with maybe not the best application, definitely puts you in the running to be able to match into that program. Now, a match is very different than the way most of our other friends in all these other professions get jobs. You know, you go on the interview, you get the job if you do an outstanding interview. Here, we still get ranked. It's a little weird. All right, so what is the interview for? Well, it's for a lot of things. Mainly, they want to make sure that you're not crazy. What matters most to the programs on these interviews are your interactions with the faculty, your interpersonal skills with the residents and everybody else, and how you're working with them throughout the day. And not just residents, fellows, and attendings, but also all the other staff that you're going to come across potentially. If you're physically there, you're going to meet secretaries, program coordinators, janitors, security. Every little way that you interact with someone can be watched or can be evaluated. They want feedback from the residents if you meet one-on-one with them, and they want to know the interactions from all the other staff. And truly, when you're going through these video interviews, it's just these first two. So you have to nail these first two even better through the video interview than you would have in an in-person interview. And then most important, have you already started preparing for video conferencing interviews? If you haven't, I'll take you conferencing interviews. If you haven't, I'll take you through a little bit of what you can do.